this once. And I want to
subscribe.
Car D Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. This video is sponsored by Sleeve Chief. Their latest release, the Brothers Strategy Collection, comes out September 5th. It comes with a deck box featuring Doflamingo and Rosinante. It also features a Rosinante and Doflamingo sleeve, border sleeve, 2-player playmat. So if you're excited for this Don Quixote release, don't keep your wallet waiting and pick this up when it releases on September 5th. And use my code CARDKAIZOKU for 5% off your order. So OP09 tournaments have been happening in Japan, all kind of like small level stuff, right? It's like their standard battles and their 3v3s and their store events. I think that's akin to our versions of the store treasure cups, right? We finally get something on the level that matches them. Deck lists here are courtesy of One Piece Top Decks. We're just going to take a look at what people are building now that the set is like, what, 3 to 4 days old now? But I also do want to preface it by saying that, yeah, this is just the beginning of the set. Deck lists and metas change as the set progress. So what we're seeing today may not be indicative of like the true power level of some of these decks. There will be tech to figure out. There will be meta adjustments to make, right? I think the biggest meta adjustment people are going to have to make right off the bat is you're going to have to tech for blue Doflamingo. Swarm is not gone, even though Red Purple Law is banned. There's a new Swarm guy on the block. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's take a look at some of the deck lists, yeah? So if you just scroll real quick throughout the distribution here, you can tell there's one deck that's like pretty well represented. It's Shanks. I see a lot of Shanks here. All the Shanks are shanking. All the shanking Shanks. Looking like he's going to be a tier 1 deck, at least with the initial results. And like I freaking called it. I told you guys. Let me check when did I post that video. It was quite a while ago, right? I have to go to the second page to find him. Yeah, look, July 19th, I posted that OP09 Shanks is actually good. I've been telling you guys I was right this whole time, but I've still seen people saying that he sucked. So I don't know, you want to trust everyone else's opinion or the guy who called Shanks being good? Like way early, July 19th. I mean, it looks like I have a pretty good judge of how strong a deck is going to be just based off the early spoiled cards. At least a better track record than like the general public of the One Piece card game community. But let's just go from bottom to the top, right? Because it's in chronological order. Yeah, it is. So there's an Enel here. The Enel is the first 09 deck list on One Piece Top Decks. Let's take a look at how it changed maybe. Just maybe we'll learn something new. Never mind, the webpage cannot be found. I think there's like a coding error on their side. So I guess it's actually blue Doflamingo. God damn it, I hate this guy. I hate this deck. I hate Doflamingo players. I'm just kidding, by the way. So this is a top 4 placement at a shop event, a Shumai Cup. I guess that means 62 players played in it. And yeah, it is pretty much the same as the OP 8.5 Doflamingo. I'm pretty sure it's exactly 8.5. There's no new thing that Doflamingo gets in 09 because that's all Buggy support. So yeah, it's your starter deck 4, standard, and then the blocker Doflamingo and Perona to rearrange top life. Top cards in deck, I mean. And then vanilla, and then the EB01 stuff and the OP07 stuff. And yeah, starter deck. This starter deck law is good, right? Because he's kind of pseudo removal. That can bounce one of your Peronas back to hand or your Doflamingos to block again. So yeah, and he's a 5k attacking body afterwards too. And then a Buggy, 2k counter that can also rearrange. So yeah, I guess this law bounces the Buggy back to counter for 2k. This Boa card is insane too. I don't know if I'm just imagining it, but I'm pretty sure I saw like some pretty prolific Doflamingo players. Let me zoom out a bit. How do I I want the whole card to be shown on screen. There we go, we fixed it. So what was I saying? Yeah, some very prolific Doflamingo mains who said that there's no slot in the deck for this because it's a, I don't know what their reasoning was, but it's just, I don't know how you can think that. This card is so good for Doflamingo. Because yeah, it's a blocker. That's a good thing actually. And vanilla stat line, 4 cost 6k power. Everything else in the deck is 4 cost 5k. And that lets you rearrange the top 3. So it's like a Perona effect on top of that. Then you can give your leader a Dawn too. So it's like a discount. She's actually like a 3 cost. So this Boa Hancock is amazing for Doflamingo. It makes you have really explosive like 6 Dawn turns, right? Because you can play the Boa out, attach a rested Dawn to your leader, attach one of your active Dawn to your leader. And then you can have access to your leader ability for 6 Dawn. You don't need to be at 7. And yeah, it runs some Red Rock for like, I guess Doflamingo still have to worry about decks that go tall. Is this for Enel? Maybe, potentially? Because yeah, Enel does pretty well against decks that like to swarm. But yeah, no surprise here. We see Doflamingo. People are putting Doflamingo at like tier 1, speculatively. We'll have to see how the meta shakes out, but Doflamingo is going to be pretty up there. You see 2 red-purple Luffys. Are these at the same event? Same event as the Doflamingo? It looks like it. So let's see what red-purple Luffy's running now. So it's looking same old, ramped to the OP09 10 cost Luffy. Only as a 2 of, yeah, it's running the new Sanji, who can rest an opponent's character that's 6 or lower, and he gains rush 2, all at the price of returning 1 Dawn. And red purple Luffy, you want to return 1 Dawn only. You don't want to return 2. That's for black purple Luffy. But yeah, that's good at board control, and you rush into it really quickly. So your opponent's probably at like 4 Dawn at this point. They'll play a 4-drop. You play Sanji, you can rest it and kill it, most likely. And then the 9 cost Luffy, they run a 4 of. Yeah, it's great. It's a rush body that draws you a card. It replaces itself. And then the Dawn you minus to play him, you can like ramp it back with your leader ability, so you don't really lose anything out when playing this purple Luffy in the deck. Yeah, just having a rush option is just insane, in purple at least. But it's not as impactful in red purple Luffy because, yeah, he has access to red, which is, yep, this guy, Goldie Roger, a 1 of. So red purple Luffy is a 3 life leader. You go to 0 pretty quickly, so he's always a threat, this Roger, because when you attack with him and your opponent blocks and either you or your opponent has 0 life, you win the game. As you can imagine, it's really easy for red purple Luffy to go to 0 life. It also runs Yasop. Yasop is another addition. So yeah, that makes red purple Luffy a 7k base for the turn. If 6k was hard enough to attack into, by default 7k is like, okay, I'm not going to touch you this turn, I want to develop board instead. And then if Yasop lives, he just gives minus 1k to everything that you attack the turn after. And of course, 3 new gate, not 4, so it looks like 3 in this deck. Gum Giant, also a really huge addition, right? This is one of the strongest defensive counters, I feel like. Because yeah, 1 Dawn, and then you can Dawn minus 2, which is no big deal for red purple Luffy. You're at 10 more often than not. So if you're at 10, minusing 2, you go to 8, go back to 10 next turn. Even if you go to 7, you can ramp 1 with your leader to go to 10 next turn. So what it does is if you discard a card in your hand and your leader is a Straw Hat crew type, up to one of your leaders or characters gets plus 4k power during this battle, and then you can draw 2 cards. So that's especially important in red purple Luffy because you're running so many bricks, right? Roger has no counter, Whitebeard has no counter, Luffy has no counter, this Luffy has no counter. So if those big costed cards are stuck in your hand, if you play Gum Giant, you can turn it into a 4k counter. And then you also draw 2 cards, so you could potentially draw even more counter, or like the rush option to finish the next turn, or even like 10 cost Luffy for next turn to like take 2 turns in a row. So yeah, I completely understand why red purple Luffy is seeing representation here. If I had more time before the set release, I was gonna get to red purple Luffy eventually, but I wanted to mix doing 07 videos and 08 videos and 09 videos all at the same time, so I just didn't have space for it. But it's good to know. I'm gonna have a good time playing this deck, so expect to see red purple Luffy videos soon. What did the other red purple Luffy run? So pretty much the same. Oh, one thing I want to note, this guy did not run 7 cost Kid. So I guess being a 6k base is already enough to deter blue Doflamingo, but this guy is running 4 7 cost Kids as an extra layer of security, right? If it's hard enough for like a Jinbei to attack into a 6k power Luffy, now he's 7k power, so it makes your opponent have to put 2 Dawn on their 5k body to attack into you. So this one's probably teched super hard against Doflamingo, and yeah, he did place higher, 2nd place, so I'm guessing it paid off. What other difference? They're running the Onami from the starter deck. This is card advantage. Discard 1, draw 2. He's not running Gold Roger, but the other guy only ran it as a 1 of 2. No Sanji though, but yeah. 9 cost Luffy is looking like a auto include. He runs All-Star Calamities. This is called something else, right? But whatever. Yeah, Gum Giant, we know, is great in this kind of deck. It completely replaces Radical Beam, it looks like. But yeah, everything else seems to be the same here. So yeah, great to see more red purple Luffys in the meta. And then let's take a look at our first Shanks list here. Let's take a look at these 3 actually and let's compare them. So Shanks, okay, this guy's running a lot of rush. There's Zoro and then the unblockable Luffy, Dragon 2, Vanilla Howling Gabu. But yeah, it's the red hair pirate staples, 4 of the 10 cost Shanks. This is like, I think, the best card in the set. It just does so much for you. Because yeah, he's a rush attacker, and then he also debuffs all your opponent's characters minus 1000 power on either you and your opponent's turn, right? It's like a permanent thing. So it's offensive and defensive. It's great for Shanks, and Shanks always has access to an extra 1k counter because of his leader ability, giving minus 1k power to something when your opponent attacks. But yeah, they do run the Silver's Rayleigh blocker that does draw you a card. Then Beckman auto include in this deck is just so good, getting rid of a 6k body on the turn you play it. It also runs Hongo, which is a 2k counter that was not revealed when I started making my Shanks videos. But yeah, of course you run it because it's searchable by Uta. Is he usable though? If you rest this character, your leader has red hair pirates, up to one of your opponents get minus 2k power during his turn. Okay, that's not bad. It's like a Otama, which we also run. Then Yasop, of course, is good. It makes your leader a 6k. Lime Juice is, yeah, another 2k in the red hair pirates archetype, and also gets rid of a blocker. Nice. And then another card that wasn't revealed when I made my Shanks videos was Lucky Roo. So he's a blocker, and then on KO, if you're a red hair pirates type, you can KO to one of your opponent's characters with the original power 6,000 power or less. So yeah, it's like a thing you can do on your forward on play. I think that was something that was sorely missing in my deck list, because yeah, this card was not revealed at the time, or else I would have included him. But yeah, just having a blocker means that you can use him defensively, and then if your opponent ever like tries to kill you, you can 2 for 1, right? Not only do you stop an attack, you can take out one of your opponent's characters as well. And of course, Gold Roger, he runs 2 of. I think I run 4. Actually, let me pull up my list so I can compare how off I was. Okay, so this is the list I was running in my videos. This was like before all the red hair pirates were revealed too, so there's some cards missing, right? There's no Lucky Roo, so I ran more Silver Israeli to compensate for that. Yeah, I ran 4 Gold Rogers and 4 Radical Beams. Is this too much defense? How many Radical Beams does he run? 0? Okay, so maybe I was overly defensive, but this guy also runs a lot of Rush. I didn't run this much in my deck, right? I replaced it with more 2Ks, and then top end, I run Silver Israeli and then Edward Newgate. But that's just this guy's list. Let's take a look at another one just to see if this is the trend to go more aggro with Shanks. So the second Shanks list does not have all that Rush. It does run Silver Israeli. Also runs this starter deck Newgate, which I think is also good for the deck. It's like an extra copy of Ben Beckman, right? This KOs a 6k power, or not KOs, it trashes, so it's better than KO. Edward Newgate gives a Rusted Dawn to your leader, and then you can KO a 5k power. And I'm guessing this might be due to the Doflamingo meta, right? This handles Doflamingo really well. Pretty much every single body in his deck, except for like Boa, and then the Vanilla Gecko is 5k or less, so you can KO a body for free every turn with this Newgate. He also runs Howling Gabu. Is the Vanilla that good? I don't know, there's just so many other stronger cards with effects that I don't know. Yeah, for 5 you could run Silver Israeli, who's a blocker, but maybe he values having a 1k more power. He also runs Building Snake. I guess, yeah, since you're running Ben Beckman and the Newgate here, Building Snake makes Ben Beckman hit a 9k power character, and then Newgate can hit an 8k power. So it makes sense why he runs that. He runs the Event Searcher too. For consistency? Yeah, I guess you want to find your 10 cost Shanks and always have it on your 10 down turn. But also no Radical Beam. Maybe I was too overprotective. Let's take a look at the third list though. Okay, this one looks a little more similar to mine. No, it's running the Shanks that can KO at 10k power and Dragon. So he's kind of like removal, aggro, somewhere in the middle. He also runs 3 Gold Rogers and the Event Searcher. Yeah, it looks like there's no like solidified Shanks list, at least for the top end. Let's take a look at a couple more since there's so many to look at. Alright, this guy, also running the KO Shanks and Dragons, 1 Gold Roger, no Radical Beams. Is Dragon that good in this deck? I guess it makes your leader a 7k swing, and then he himself is a 9k swing, but you don't get any extra benefit from having Dawn on your leader, except for like swinging for a bigger number. Yeah, it looks like they're opting for Dragon over the 9 cost Whitebeard, which is more defensive. What about this guy? This guy's even running Marco in his deck, and the Shanks, he's not running Dragon, but he's running 4 Silver Israeli and then 4 Building Snake. So this guy's more like mid-range because of the Marco Building Snake. Lets you KO a 6k power character, but he's only running 4 events. I don't know if the Marco is the play here. IMHO. Okay, last Shanks deck list we'll look at real quick. This looks like every other one that I've seen so far. Okay, so it looks like nobody's running Radical Beam. Great to know. Let's see, what other decks did we miss? So Luchi, he gains nothing in 09, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, they still run Kaku in the east. Oh, the EB01 broke. That's going to handle Doflamingo really well, so they bumped that up to 4. Also Jack. Stussy too. So no, yeah, they never developed an Isho meta in the east, I noticed. Isho is like a west kind of thing. But yeah, no Annie's Lobby means 4 Ice Ages makes sense. The deck is pretty much the same, nothing new. They only run 1 Sabo. That's insane to me. They only run 1 Sabo in the east. How do the Black Mirrors go? That's what I noticed too. We run a lot more Sabos here. And they don't run the OP06 Brook either, or the Nightmare Luffy. But yeah, those are tech cards anyway, so we could see that come back once the meta develops. Right, Luchi's kind of a deck that handles whatever your opponent plays. So if you don't really know at the beginning of the meta what decks could be strong, this looks like a generic enough list to handle any situation without specifically targeting one type of deck that you have trouble with. Alright, we got there's a red-yellow Sabo here. Let's take a look real quick out of curiosity. Right, because he did get a bunch of new yellow Revolutionary Army cards. So it's the same old package. It doesn't run like the Kikunojos and the Rush Zoros and Rush Luffys anymore, it looks like. Opting more for a pure Rev Army package, because yeah, it runs the 05 stuff and then the, what is the 06? Yeah, 06 ones. But here are the new ones, the yellow ones that were added to the game. I think this is a promo card, right? Yeah, it is. You may put the top or bottom card of your life into your hand, then this character gets plus 1k power. I guess he's just a 2k counter you can search with Bella Betty. And then Koala heals you, right? No, it doesn't. It does the opposite. It hurts you. So you draw a card from your life, and then you can cheat out a Rev Army card from your hand and then draw a card. But she's a blocker, so like a kind of Feast or Famine kind of playstyle with Koala. Then the new Sabo was really good too, if I remember. He's the one who heals. I'm pretty sure one of them healed, I remember. 7 cost, 7k power. On play, add up to 1 Rev Army type card from your hand to your life face up. Yep. Then if you have 2 or more life cards, add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. So if you're at high life, it filters your life. If you're at low life, it outright just heals you for 1 whole life. So yeah, it's a good top end card. There's also the Kuma, it's a 2k counter that you can sometimes trigger out when you're at low life, which will be really easy within the red yellow Sabo deck, right? So even this 2k counter can be a body you can like keep healing yourself with and cheating back out. And the trigger doesn't have to discard a card to play out, right? The cards like his name's not Mori, isn't it like Morley? You have to discard a card in your hand to play it. Same with Lindbergh. With Kuma, you cheat him out for free if the total life total between you and your opponent is 5 or less. And then you put 2 down on him and then heal with it with your Sabo leader ability here. It also runs the new Bella Betty. On play, if you have 2 or less life, you draw a card. Yeah, so use card advantage for the deck, and she also triggers out for free if you're at 5 total life or less. But I did kind of want to see these cards in a Bella Betty deck. That's what I'm going to personally test once it's out on the sim. But great to know it does good enough to get first place at a standard battle. Okay, our first OP09 Luffy, so be interested to see because this is one of the decks I'm excited for too. Let's take a look at a few of them back to back if there are any more. Okay, there's 2, so we'll take a look because I'm still unsure if Gecko Moria is the player or not. I'm on the Gecko Moria team, but we'll see what these guys are running. So this guy running pretty much purple and Gecko Moria. Okay, yeah, so my Gecko Moria stance might be valid in that case because he can play out this Frankie, which is really good, and it plays out the Law too. So you can search and then also like draw 2 cards. So you like, well, you have to discard 1, but you're essentially +2, right? Law and then Frankie. Then you have a blocker out and then 9k body out. How different is it from my list? Let's take a look at mine. But yeah, at this point, there were still some purple cards that weren't revealed. Right? I think I saw Dispepo. Dispepo was not revealed when I made my deck list. What does it do? 2k counter, and then on your turn, once per turn, when Dawn cards are returned to the Dawn deck, up to one of your leaders or characters get plus 1k power during this turn. So I don't think you ever want to play this out. It's just a searchable 2k counter. Is it searchable? Yeah, it is. It's a Heart Pirates, which is searchable by this Law. Let's see what else is different. So I'm running Frankie, I'm running Law, running Sanji, Black Maria. They're running all that too. They're not running Mr. 2, I notice. Instead, they're running Pudding. So yeah, it's just different preference in ramp options. Right, Pudding ramps you Arrested Dawn. I wanted to run Mr. 2 because he ramps a active Dawn that I could use to attack with, and he can copy one of your opponent's powers later at some point. But it's just personal preference, I think. Are they running the 7 cost Sanji? Yes, they are. So am I. 9 cost Luffy, of course, is a great card. 4 of the 05 Nika, and I'm running 3. So yeah, it's just difference in ratios. The Searcher Zoro, I'm probably going to cut that. I actually didn't like using him in the deck, and it looks like he's not running it either, so good to know. My intuition to cut it. Is this the list I use? Hold on, let me double check, because I thought I cut him out already. I guess I probably thought about it, but didn't actually do it. But yeah, it looks like it's not too far off from the Luffy deck that I brewed up. 4 Gum Gum Giants and 2 Jump Rope. What am I running? I'm running 3 Gum Gum Giants and then 3 Lightning. So I guess they like Jump Rope more. But this one rests and then Lightning KOs. But yeah, I guess it's still removal at the end of the day for 2 Dawn. So maybe that's personal preference too. I should probably bump up the Giant to 4 as well. It's such a strong card. Let's take a look at the other Luffy list just to see if we're like consistent. At least this guy runs the 10 cost Kaido and Linlin. I think this card is garbage, but he did get first place. I don't know. He also runs 9 cost Linlin, so a different top end. Still the Luffy, only one of though. And I'm guessing no Gecko Moria. No, he's running Gecko Moria too. So either style of Luffy, you should run Gecko Moria. He's that good of a card. But yeah, he depends on Sabo into Kaido Linlin, and then Black Maria to ramp you with the Dawn back. I mean, it's strong where you can get it off, but it's just like so finicky to actually consistently pull off. Because yeah, like Kaido and Linlin and Black Maria, they're searchable by this queen that they put in the deck, but Sabo is not. And Sabo is that important piece of this combo. Or else you're just like, I guess it's not so bad in a purple black Luffy deck. If you Dawn -10, you do get 2 back at least. And then you go back to 4 next turn. But I still think that I prefer like this style of Luffy more for consistency's sake. This is like a high roll kind of Luffy deck. It feels good when you win this way, but yeah, I think my heart can't take it. This guy's running Gum Gum Thunder, Gum Gum Lightning. Yeah, they just translate it with different words here. And then Gum Gum Giant 2 of instead of 4. I think this card is too good to not be at least a 3. So that's purple black Luffy. Ooh, did Reiju get anything new? Let's take a look at this Reiju list. And then there's a Lim here who got second at a 3v3. And then let's take a look at a Blackbeard deck too. Let's just pre-open these in tabs so I don't have to come back to this page as much. Ooh, purple Luffy. Okay, I'm going to take a look at those later too. Let's take a look at these real quick. So Reiju probably gets nothing new at all. It's the exact same Reiju. Ooh, what's this? This is the Pirates Party Sanji, who's just a 2k. Wasn't there a new card in 09 for Nami? Oh wait, I'm not looking at Nami. I saw that this is a card that they added to the Nami deck. And I thought I was looking at a Nami deck for some reason. I don't know, I'd rather run Kaya instead. But yeah, Reiju is same old, same old. Let's take a look at Lim. So Lim looks like, yeah, it's the Lim that ramps to Zoro deck. Because yeah, this is a green purple deck with guaranteed ramp in your leader ability. So of course you'll guarantee having Zoro out. Like what is it, on your third turn, fourth turn? Guaranteed. And that's scary. If your opponent can't get rid of it, you have access to, let's see, if you need 3 Dawn to untap him twice, you can attack for 16k 3 times with this leader. Or with this character, I mean. And this is the only Lim list that placed. It's in a 3v3 though, but yeah. This kind of strategy like dies to decks that can run Red Rock and Raigo and stuff though, but I'm pretty sure Luchi can even handle 9 costs a few times. That's the only big character in this deck. But yeah, I'll have to test Lim myself once the sim is updated to include all of 09. I mean, I guess I could run it now. Is there anything missing that Batsu hasn't implemented yet? Is it just this Usopp? No, I think the Usopp's in too, but yeah. And then lastly, for the tabs I had open, there's a Blackbeard. How many Blackbeards are here? Let's take a look at if there's more than one. There's 2. Okay, let's take a look at both of them. So this Blackbeard is running Kaido, and then the rest of the Blackbeard stuff, Ice Age, Tempest Kick. Oh, he's able to fill his discard enough to use Tempest Kick. That's good to know. What does this do? This is my time. Okay, the Event Searcher. That puts into the trash. It runs 4 Finger Gun because you don't have too many on play KO effects. Horse Jack, we expected that for the blocker Blackbeards. We expected that as well. It's such a strong card. It's like the card you want to play once you get to 10 Dawn in this deck. Also runs the blocker, 2 cost blockers. I don't know, whenever I see a deck that has to run a 2 cost, 2k power, 1k counter blocker, I just feel like that means they don't have enough good cards in their archetype to fill this slot, IMHO. But yeah, everything else seems pretty standard. They're playing Borsa too? I guess it's for the Black Mirror. Right, if your opponent is denied on plays. No, you don't really care. Oh no, you do care, because like Ben Beckman and the OP06 Brook can handle the unable to be KO'd cards. So yeah, Blackbeard's leader ability can cancel that out and keep your Borsalino a lot more safe on board. See what the other one runs. So this one runs the Navy Hina blocker that can stop one of your opponent's characters from attacking if you block with her. Everything else seems to be the same, right? Oh, he runs the Stage. This lets you cycle a card in your hand, so it could be great for finding your 10 cost Blackbeards that you want to play back to back. But yeah, it looks like the lists are pretty much the same, except this guy runs Kaido as a top end. This guy runs Hina as like a mid-game kind of play. Did they both run Shiryu? Yes, they do. Who's the 2k counter? This guy's running Katarina Devon as their mid-game option over the Hina that the other guy ran. She gets like either double attack, banish, or blocker, so you get to pick what she is for you every turn. That's cool. Alright, let's take a look at Purple Luffy because I'm more curious about that. 2 Purple Luffy lists. There's a Buggy here too. I guess we'll have to look at him. Alright, so Purple Luffy, is he just Purple Black Luffy without the black? It's looking like it. Yeah, Zorodoro. Huh. No, current Purple Luffy doesn't run Zorodoro. Does this guy run it? Nope. So I think tech option? And then yeah, you'll need the 7 cost kid for sure, because you ramp twice, you're a 3 life leader, you need to protect against blue Doflamingo, so makes sense, makes you a 6k base. They completely drop Poly, they completely drop 5 cost kid too, it looks like. Yeah, and it runs that starter deck Luffy Taro into Sangoro combo, right? Because this Luffy Taro can cheat out another Straw Hat, that's 5 cost or less. Sangoro, when you have 8 or more Dawn, you draw a card when you attack, so it's great for card advantage. Because yeah, you're at 3 life, you'll need all the cards in your hand to counter out of as you can. There's also this 4-drop 6k Zoro that can search a Straw Hat type card, add to your hand. This replaces like the Apu or Sphinx slot that used to be there. He doesn't have counter though, so a little bit inflexible in that regard. But yeah, he searches for all of your 2ks, right? Sanji, searchable. Renosuke, searchable. Usohachi, also searchable. He's like a Izo effect in purple, so like pesky blockers that get in the way, you can play Usohachi to tap it. Also runs that 9 cost Luffy. Yeah, he's great even in mono purple Luffy. It's such a strong card. Rush and he replaces himself. It's insane. Ooh, they run the vanilla Usopp. Yeah, now that I think about it, there was no purple vanilla Straw Hat up until now. This is the first one. So that means they dropped the ulti page 1 combo completely. Yep, they did. And then we also have a searcher option too in purple Luffy with this Law. He also searches Straw Hat. The Sanji's good too, right? It rests and then you can attack. Gungam Giant, of course, makes sense. It's the best defensive purple event, IMHO. And then Queen is still good that you have to run Queen, so that makes sense. What did the other guy run? So he still runs Magellan, but also 4 Kid, the 7 cost Kid against Doflamingo. The Magellan, I think in some matchups it's a lot better than against others. Like I think against Luchi, being a body that they'll never want to get rid of until they're at 10 Dawn is good. You're pumping out pressure every turn with it. They can't really deal with it unless they want to like get delayed in Dawn ramping. What else? So yeah, Luffy Taro, Sangoro, Zorodro, that's the standard package here. He runs more of the vanilla Usopp. Ooh, what's this Chopper card? So 5 cost 6k power, end of your turn, if you can return 1 card from your Dawn area to your Dawn deck, and you can set him active and he gains blocker. Okay. I get, yeah, it's a blocker option for the late game, because Purple Luffy does get to the point where he plays like a double 5-drop every turn. And then this Chopper can attack and then become a blocker after that, so it lets you use them offensively and defensively, so I can see the merit in that. Also runs the Searcher Law. Yeah, this just makes the deck a little more consistent, right? Searcher Law and then the Zorodro. It's gonna be great for Purple Luffy. 2 Gungam Giant and 2 Gattlings. This guy ran 0 Gattlings. A little risky. But yeah, I'm excited to play this variation of Purple Luffy as well. We can kind of play a part of it. We're just missing this 9 cost Luffy once the starter decks come out for us. Oh, the Law too. We're not gonna have the Law. Yeah. Then Bonnie and Rebecca, I'm pretty sure they don't get anything new. So let's take a look at the Buggy list. And then let's start by looking at our list. So yeah, not all the Buggy cards were in the sim at the time that I made this deck list. So it's missing the Crocodile. It's missing, there's like a vanilla Mr. 1 that they added too. And I think that's about it. So let's see what the Buggy deck ended up looking like for this person who won first place at a standard battle. So it's running, ooh, Marguerite and Kaya. What did I run as 2k? Yeah, I ran like the Baroque Works 2k, Mr. 2. But Kaya makes sense because you're trying to find your 7 cost Crocs. Like, your deck revolves around getting this guy and playing him back to back. If you can't do that, in my opinion, in my experience, the deck cannot be played at all. So in that regard, it's kind of like a high rolly kind of deck, right? You need to find your Crocs to even like compete. But they did reveal a couple of cards that like made it more consistent. He does run Jozu for tempo, I guess, but he doesn't like synergize with anything else in the deck. But maybe it's good enough that he can remove a body on your opponent's board, make it so that you can develop your bodies more safely. He runs Moji, but no Richie, eh? Right? Because he's a 2k counter, but there's a blocker that you can cheat out with him, but I guess he doesn't find the value in that. And here's a vanilla Mr. 1 that was not revealed until now. It does run 4 Buggy, so I guess it's just like a nice to have. It's not something you want to depend on. And then 4 Peel-Off, I ran 4 Peel-Off. He does run 2 Gravity Blades and 1 Red Rock. I took all the removal events in my deck because I felt like it was too clunky. If you're trying to play like your 5-drops, you never have Dawn to play Red Rock or Raging Tiger, right? Because there's 6 and 7. You have like 4 or 3 left for the rest of the turn. So yeah, I don't know about this. I still don't think that you should run these, but I could be wrong. I didn't get first place at a standard battle. Yeah, this Mihawk is missing. He draws you a card. Filters too, so you're actually drawing 2 deep to help find this guy more consistently. There's a Buggy stage card that I thought might be useful because it lets you filter to, again, find this card consistently, but it looks like this guy didn't run it. But yeah, it's pretty much identical to this deck, except no Kaido. That's what I noticed too. They don't need the top end to refill their hand, I guess. But yeah, I did also mention that I consider him a tech card. It's just that since I didn't have access to like Mihawk and stuff at that time, I just put him in the deck just so it functioned a little better. Okay, and that's Buggy. So that's it for now. That's all the decks I wanted to look at. That's what the 09 meta is shaping up to be at the moment. Again, it's only been like 3-4 days. I do expect it to change quite a bit. We'll see if Shanks can like remain speculatively, supposedly tier 1 leader at this point. But I kind of called it. I knew he was going to be good. You can check my video that I made like, it's over a month ago now. I made it like in mid-July saying that Shanks is going to be good. But yeah, hope you found this video interesting. Hope you are excited for 09 when it reaches our shores, like in December. We'll see if we develop anything different than the East. That tends to happen too, right? Our Luchi lists are so different. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Would appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Car D Kaizoku.